Hey, how's it going, my fellow Guardians? My name is MFK Clickz, the newest addition to the team here at DestinyFollower. I'm super excited to be here working alongside my good friend Cody SCM, and hopefully you guys enjoy having me here on the channel as well. Now, since this is my first video with you guys, allow me to give you a little bit of background on who I am. I have been a longtime Bungie fan all the way since the start of the Halo franchise. I've been a fan of the Bungie games. They have helped craft some of my favorite memories in gaming. I've been playing Destiny since day one of the alpha. I mainly play a hunter on the PlayStation 4, but I do play on Xbox One as well. I have played all three character classes and maxed them out, but the hunter is the one that stuck with me the most, and it's my favorite one to play overall. But that's enough about me. Today's video, and my first ever video here on Follower, is going to be the top 5 most useless weapons in the Crucible. Now, before I get started on this video, I do want to say this is my personal opinion. If you guys happen to see a weapon you like on here, I'm not saying it's utter garbage. This is just my personal opinion. Some of these weapons in the right hands can be an absolute force to be reckoned with. So keep that in mind. Let me know what you guys think at the end of the video. But without further ado, let's get into this. Coming in at number 5 is probably the weapon that's going to make the most people mad. The No Land Beyond, the exotic primary sniper rifle that rewards a fast-paced playstyle and somebody that can land headshots. In the hands of some people, this weapon is an absolute monster. There's been times I've run trials and I've absolutely been wiped by this weapon. A full team running them, they can nail headshots. You don't stand a chance. But to the average player, somebody that doesn't actively use snipers, and they're not used to being a fast-paced, highly accurate player, this weapon is pretty useless. You'd be better off running around with a stick. Now, me personally, I like to run around with the No Land Beyond from time to time, but this is the type of weapon most of the time when you see it, you really don't take people seriously. So, number 5 is the No Land Beyond. And at number 4, we have the exotic heavy machine gun, the super good advice, or as I like to call it, the super hard to hit stuff. This weapon has massive amounts of recoil, and with you having limited heavy ammunition, you're going to spend more time keeping the recoil on this weapon under control than you are actually hitting targets. Visually, it's a great looking weapon, but when you're actually using this inside of the Crucible, it's pretty useless. As I said, you spend more time actually trying to control the weapon than you do actually killing somebody. There's a lot better options out there if you're wanting to roll a heavy machine gun. Super good advice is definitely not one of them. Coming in at number 3, we have the exotic rocket launcher, the Dragon's Breath. Of the 3 exotic rockets, this is hands down the worst one to use in PvP. Sure, it might have its uses in a PvE standpoint, but when it comes to PvP, going up against powerhouses like the Truth and the Gallarhorn, there is no contest. The only time I ever found this weapon useful was in a game of Control. I shot a rocket right on top of the control point, and it kept enemies away long enough for my teammates to get in and take the point. But other than that, going up against the other 2 exotic rockets, Dragon's Breath really isn't all that useful. Holding the number 2 position is the 4th Horseman. Visually, it's one of the cooler exotics in the game, and I was really excited for this when they announced it with the Dark Below. I got my hands on it after launch, and I quickly realized this weapon just doesn't make the cut. PvP or PvE, this weapon is just overall terrible. Sure, the elemental damage is nice, but it just doesn't make the cut regardless. The way Cody SCM described this weapon, it's fun to use, but it has the range of a wet fart. You practically need to be hugging somebody to even get a kill with it, and the only time I ever really used this in PvP is when I was joking around. It's like running into a group of people using No Land Beyonds. It's just really hard to take them seriously. So that's it for the number 2 position on the list. Next, we're moving on to number 1, the most useless weapon in the Crucible. Holding the number 1 position here on our top 5 most useless weapons in the Crucible, number 1 goes to the Dreg's Promise. Now, this weapon has an insane rate of fire. It's got a quick reload speed, and it has a relatively high amount of stability, but none of that can make up for the fact it has absolutely abysmal range. The shots themselves have a travel time, and the unique perk on the weapon, you hardly ever see it working. Amongst other sidearms, this is one that stands out as absolutely bad. There's a lot of better options out there. Sure, this weapon looks cool, might be fun to use from time to time, but in the Crucible, it is definitely not a reliable option. In my entire Crucible career since the launch of the House of Wolves, I've seen like 3 people use this weapon. Anybody I've seen use it, they quickly get outgunned and hardly have time to do any damage. It might be fun for you guys to use, but in my opinion, it is the most useless weapon in the Crucible. So that wraps up our top 5. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your guys' top 5s? I'm curious to see what you guys have to say, but that brings us to a close here. I want to thank you guys for having me here on DestinyFollower. I'm looking forward to creating more content for you guys and growing with the channel as well. So I'm going to get out of here. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys later.